Today we're diving into something, well, it's pretty unsettling actually. We're talking about one of the biggest emerging threats out there. What happens when the very real, physical world of our factories and power grids gets plugged straight into the internet?
So, I want you to picture something, because this is a real story. Imagine a factory that ran like clockwork for 20 years, flawlessly. Its machinery was totally cut off from the outside world, what the experts call air-gapped. It was safe. Then, somebody had a great idea for efficiency. Let's connect it to the corporate network. And for a while, it worked great. Productivity shot up. But just 6 months later, the entire factory ground to a halt, paralyzed. So that really brings us to the big question here, doesn't it? It sounds impossible. How on earth can one little email, one mistake in an office, shut down an entire factory? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
All right, to really get a handle on this risk, you have to understand that we're talking about two completely different worlds that are now on a collision course. And for decades, these two worlds were kept separate for a very, very good reason: safety.
Okay, so on one side, you've got information technology, IT. That's the world of data. It's everything we know and use every day, right? Your email, corporate networks, accounting systems, that whole deal. But then you have this other world, operational technology, or OT. This isn't about data, it's about physical action. We're talking about the systems that control factory robots, power grids, even water treatment plants. And the key thing to remember is that OT was built for one thing: reliability. It was never ever designed to be connected to the internet. And that brings us to this big concept: IT-OT convergence. It's exactly what it sounds like, connecting these two separate worlds. Now you might be asking, why on earth would anyone do that? And the answer is, the payoff is huge. Suddenly, you can get real-time data from all your machines. You can predict when they need maintenance. You can monitor everything from anywhere. It's the whole promise of Industry 4.0, making everything smarter and way more efficient. But, and this is a huge but, there's a really dangerous flip side. You see, that connection was meant to be a simple one-way bridge, right? For data to flow from the factory to the office. What it actually created was a 6-lane superhighway for cyber attacks to drive right back into the factory.
So what does this nightmare scenario actually look like? Let's walk through it, step by step, to see how one simple email can lead to a total factory shutdown. It almost always starts with something you've heard about a million times: a phishing email. An employee, maybe in the accounting department, clicks a bad link. Boom, their laptop is compromised. From there, the attackers just move sideways through the corporate network, totally undetected, until they find it, that new digital bridge to the OT network. Once they're across, it's game over. They can take remote control of the actual physical factory equipment, and the final step? They launch a ransomware attack, and just like that, everything stops. The whole production line frozen. You see, this completely changes the game. Ransomware used to be about your files being encrypted, right? A huge problem for sure, but it was a data problem. Now it's about physical disruption. An attack can literally stop your factory. It can make equipment fail. It can even cause serious safety incidents. The stakes are just so much higher. Okay, so this all sounds pretty dire, I know. But it's not hopeless. The thing is, we just have to throw out the old way of thinking about security. We have to build a new kind of digital fortress. And there are really 4 key strategies to do that. First up, you've got to rebuild those walls. It's called network segmentation. Basically, you put in smart, secure gateways that act like bouncers, strictly controlling who and what gets to travel between the IT and OT networks. Second, you need security guards that actually understand the factory floor. We're talking about specialized monitoring tools that get those unique industrial languages that machines speak, something your regular IT security just doesn't see. Third, more checkpoints. Anyone from the IT side trying to access the OT systems needs extra hardcore verification. And finally, you absolutely need a big red button, a manual physical failsafe, an emergency shutdown plan that has nothing to do with the network. So this all leads us to the new reality. There's no getting around it. All those amazing benefits of Industry 4.0, they're real, but they come with a massive, unavoidable trade-off. And this is the bottom line. The air gap is gone. For decades, that physical separation was the one thing that guaranteed the safety of our most critical infrastructure. That guarantee is gone. It's just not there anymore. The safety we all took for granted isn't the default setting. It has to be actively, constantly, and intentionally built. And so that's where we'll leave it, with a question for you to think about.
Because none of this is theoretical anymore, the bridge between these worlds has already been built. That highway is open for business. The only real question left is, are the defenses in place? Are the very systems that keep our world running actually secure?